So I've got Mr. Prime here in front of me. As you can see, he is in his scraggy winter coat and a mane that's never been touched. And I don't really like horses in winter coat. It makes me kind of look at them and go, you look so unloved, you look so raggedy. And I want to clip them so bad. But he doesn't warrant a clip. He's not going anywhere just yet. He's only 2.5. And he's only getting 1 to 2 days a week of work, and it doesn't warrant him to be clipped. And he isn't all that hairy, to be totally honest, but his face is looking a little shaggy, so I'm going to get that all trimmed up today. This isn't a show clip. This fella is simply a clean up maintenance clip. I will get a show clip done on one of the purebred Arab mares. He is a partbred. He's from a purebred imported American stallion, Phoenix BHF, and his mum is a unregistered paint mare, hence why he is grey and white. And he's still got his balls. He's a colt still, hoping to run him on. He's a really sweet, sweet guy. And I just want to clean him up so that when I look at him, I don't just go, oh, look at ya. So we're going to clean his ears up, we're going to clean his throat up, clean his muzzle up, and just kind of take a bit of this fluff off him on the side of his face there. He also has never had clippers on him, as far as I know. So this is going to be from scratch, day one of how I introduce clippers to horses, how I get them used to clippers, and if need be, how I teach them to twitch. And yes, that is a weird thing to say. I do teach them to twitch so that they understand what the pressure on the nose means, so that you can literally just pop it on if need be, and they know that, okay, I have to stand, and you don't have to have it tight, and eventually as the years go by, you don't need it at all. So equipment with me today is some treats. I've got some of his hard feed here. This is Power Talk from High Gain, and it is his absolute favourite yum yums, and he now knows that bucket's there, so that's going to be fun. And we have my Andis Ultra Edge brushless clippers, 2-speed, and I have a size, I don't know if you can see that there, it's a bit hard being black with oil on it. It's the Wool Competitors Series size 40 blade, so it's a lot finer, and you got to be quite careful with this, because if you do have a slip up, you're gonna take a fair bit of hair off and you're gonna notice it. So first step is simply, I'm going to turn them on, I'm going to let him sniff them, and once he kind of gives me a bit of a sign of that's okay, I'm going to give him a treat. Good boy. So he's touched them, showed interest, I turn them off, I give him a handful of treats. Good boy. And while he's still munching, I'm going to turn them back on. He's going to look at them, he's going to start nuzzling it. Good boy. And I give him a treat. It's much like dog training. You want to use your voice as a signal of reward before you actually give them the treat, so that they can then transfer over to your voice being the reward. Good boy. Because eventually you won't actually have treats with you all the time. Same with under saddle, you won't have treats. But if you can teach them that your voice is a treat, then particularly like that phrase, that little bit more high pitch, good boy or good girl, they then learn to relax and settle with that wording. And again, totally unfazed now. He's more like, where's my treats? Good boy. I give him some. Yum, 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 yum. Good boy. Hey? Okay, so I'm now just going to pop it on him, on his shoulder, and he's going to have a little spook back. Most horses that I don't know, if I don't have a cross tie, I will actually untie them. I don't have a cross tie here, we're just on a rental. We've got a big post into the ground that we tie to with this wooden barricade so they can't, push forward. I know this fella, I know he's pretty quiet and he's not going to go pulling back and freaking, so I'm just going to leave him tied up. You'll see my chestnut mare that I'll show clip she has been untied. Like, she's untied, I'm holding on to her, because she can have a bit of a tendency to get a little panicky when trapped with clipping. She's been clipped before, so it's a work in progress as far as with me getting her and introducing my way of clipping to her. But this fella is all about the treats and cuddles, aren't you? Good boy. So we're going to put the clippers on him, and we're just going to work my way up so that I can sit the clippers on him without flinching, and then we'll actually start clipping. Here we go. Clippers on. I've got them on the highest speed, and I'm just going to go with him. I'm not going to sit them on him. He's stilled. Good boy. Pressure and release. He learns that he just has to stand, that he doesn't have to do anything else, and then I will take the pressure off him and I'll give him a treat. Good boy. And again, I've got them on the highest setting because I want him to get used to the highest setting. He doesn't move anywhere. They're still not on him, but they're just there. Good boy. You got to find their threshold. Find where he's comfortable and then work with that and build on it. So I turn them on and put the clippers up right near him again, and if he doesn't move, I'm going to hold them there, wait a couple of seconds, and then take them off and give him another treat. So turn on, walk in. Good boy. 1, 2, 3. Good boy. Always reward with yourself first, and then you can back it up with a bit of food. Alright, so we're going to see if we can stick them on him now. While they're off too, you can just let them have a sniff. Sometimes it just helps for the horse to figure out that there's actually nothing scary. So turn on, put them on him, count to 5, no reaction. Good boy. You're teaching them to stand. If he was to move like the first time, I just keep it where it is, distance away from him that he moved, and I just go with him. Good boy. So again, and don't hesitate or don't jam it on. If he's going to move there like that, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to let him have a little sniff. He's just double checking what's going on. Step back. I'm going to touch him this time. Now I'm going to put the clippers on him. Good boy. I'm going to give him a scratch with it. I know he loves scratches. So give him a scratch. You can probably see his lips are twitching a little there. He's like, ooh, that's nice. Good boy. Let him sniff the clippers. Grab some treats. Good boy. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to see if I can push on a little bit more and get up to his head. So again, on the highest setting, that's a kid. Simply because when you actually do the face on the lower setting, but when you're actually body clipping and they're on the high setting. So you want him to get accustomed and used to that high setting rather than babying on the lower setting. Good kid. Good boy. Keep them running. Give him his treat. And I'm going to start. Good boy. And you just go in like it's no one's problem. Get a few. Good boy. And then you give him a treat. Again, always using my voice as praise before I treat him. Going in like it's no one's problem. Let them flinch, it's okay. Don't try to hang on. I'm simply just holding the halter just to guide him so that he doesn't swing his head away from me. Now you'll see, yes, I am taking the whiskers off. I'm not going to take off right underneath him here, same as it's just a maintenance clip. And I do need him to get used to being without whiskers due to the way that he will be clipped up for show. This is his first time. I don't want him to go headbutting around everywhere. Good boy. He's starting to get a little bit pulley now. There you go. Wait for the lick and chew. Good boy. And then we go back. And don't try to do massive big strokes. The massive big strokes can scare them. If I was just to try and go straight up under his jaw here, he'd be like, what the hell's going on me? What's happening? Just do little ones. Good boy. And they get to a point where they're like, oh, this is easy, whatever. And they just stand, and then you can just do whatever you want. Good boy. Now I'm just going to work away at getting this hair off. He's a little tense now. I'm going to ignore that. I'm just going to go softly over where I am. A little tense. I'm still going to ignore it and just keep going. Good boy. And he's licking and chewing. Good boy. Sometimes you got to ignore their reactions. And sometimes you got to actually address it. What he's doing at the minute, just kind of tensioning, we're just going to ignore it. Good boy. So, I'm taking this side fluff off, and you can see that I'm actually going across the hair. It's because I don't want to take it all the way short. I just want to take it up to this jawline from the bottom of his cheekbone to the under of his jaw. So I'm just going to take that up to meet. Same here, just take that up to meet. And then this under here is the same again. Down here, because of the way it is, you can go a little back and get that off. Good boy. And you can see now he's pretty chill. He's not kind of tensing up and pulling away. So what I'm going to do is stop there and give you a treat. Good boy. Try to do this with a good pair of clippers that you can keep running. Otherwise you're going to have to keep turning them off. If that's all you got to work with is a smaller clipper that can't run for long periods of times, then work with what you got. Hook up. Good boy. But it is easier just to be able to keep them running. Now I'm going to take this up. I'm going to take that up to right underneath so I get a nice line. Good boy. You want another one? If you can teach them to be clipped with food the first few times, you'll then have no trouble clipping your horse. And take all this yucky off. Good boy. Try and get this little bit done here too before your clippers get too hot. It's not overly nice to have hot blades sitting on them in such a soft, sensitive area. Now be mindful of your weather. I'm in Queensland here, so I don't want to take all that hair off on his nose. He is still out in the paddock. I just want to trim him up so when I look at him I don't cringe. So I'm going to take that there and I'll blend that out and you'll see that. I'm going to go to the other side. Good boy. Same again, just take that top bit of hair off and we'll blend it back. Good boy. Want tweeties? If I was on a horse that I didn't know, I wouldn't be standing in front of them like this to clip out this side. I would be actually turning him around and moving my whole lead and set up to the other side of him. But again, this is my horse. I do know him and I know that he's not going to freak out on me without giving me signals and come and, you know, put me into a tight pickle. And he's just that overall genuine quiet horse. So again, I'm going to go across the hair on this cheek because I don't want it super short, and then up under his chin. And you can see how in no time at all, he's just standing here for this. Oh, I spoke too soon. Good boy. Wait. I know. Oh, you want to turn around now? I know. What am I doing? What am I doing? You want a treat. Hang on. Every time they go to you and like treat, like he just was, don't give in to them. Otherwise you're going to have a bit of a nightmare on your hands. They get a treat when you say they get a treat. Not when they say. Good boy. Now, to blend this bit out here. Every horse is different depending on the thickness of their coat and depending on the colour of their coat and their skin. This is where a bit of skill comes in with your blades. I'm going down with it and I'm just ever so slightly going in just to blend out that line. Good boy. Good boy. And of course, you've got to reassure them that what you're doing is fine and what they're doing is fine. So again, just kind of going down, taking that blended line out. I'm just going to bring this up a little more so it's not so much of a square. Easy, buddy. On a seasoned horse, you could take this nose band off from around the halter and it'll make it a lot easier for you. But given that this is his first time having this done, I'm going to keep it on and just work around it. Head up. Good boy. Now I'll take off that nose band and I'll show you what it does look like. Easy. So that's what we've got. A little more blending out to do just here, but he now has that big jaw. Got to take that line up a little bit more so it blends more in with his jawline. But it's a nice clean jaw. He's got to fix up under here. But yeah, nice clean jaw down. He's still got some whiskers to feel his way around the paddock and the electric fence and his feed bin. And you haven't taken that top off so they'll get sunburnt. Just blend a little bit more through here and on this here. Take that line up and that side's done. And then when we give you a bath and we look at you, you'll have a nice clean face line. Good boy. Put this back on just to make life a little easier. And let's go, buddy. So that's just taking that line up. And then this bit here just needs a little blending. So again, I turn it down and just push in to my desired effect. Now obviously this isn't going to be absolutely amazing. It isn't an actual show clip. If I was to actually show clip him, he would be full body clipped. So you wouldn't have such a dramatic difference, for starters, between the 15 and the 40 blade. And this triangle on his face would all be clipped out, along with over his eyes. But he's not going anywhere just yet anyway. So we just want some maintenance, just so I look at him and see him and not all his hair. Now I'm not going to clip over his eye, I'm just going to run it over because eventually he will have to have that done. Oh, you like that? Does that feel nice? Good boy. Good boy. Then keep his eye whiskies today. Now under here, let's just neaten this up. Gonna drop the throat lash down. on the halter. Just try to stretch their head out a little. Blade's going down, not up. I just want to scoop off those fluffies. That's all we're doing. You're liking this, aren't you? Good boy. Here we go. Pop that back up. And you get a treat. Good boy.